Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counter Spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Comedy this hour as we start off in the household of the Aldrich-family and the originals, Ezra-Stone and Jackie-Kelk. This episode was originally broadcast March 13th, 1947, and it appears that Henry's dad's birthday is coming up, and he's trying to come up with the money for a birthday gift.
Great Nuts and Great Nuts Flakes present
Henry Aldrich. Coming, Mother.
the Aldrich-family.
Yum, 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 by Jiminy. Great nuts flakes are good by Jiminy. Sugar roasted, new and better. They're richer now in sweet malt sugar. Sugar roasted, good by Jiminy. Great nuts flakes, yum, yum, by Jiminy.
The Aldrich-family, based on characters originated by Clifford Goldsmith and starring Ezra-Stone as Henry with Jackie-Kelk as Homer, is brought to you by Great Nuts and Great Nuts Flakes.
Hey, I hear there's sugar roasted.
And now for the Aldrich-family. A teenage boy may have his ups and downs, but he's never halfway between. Henry Aldrich, for instance, never walks when he can run, and never smiles when he can laugh. And when he's late for dinner, he's good and late. The scene opens at the Aldrich dinner table.
Sam, could I get you another piece of pie?
No, thank you. What time is it now?
It's a little after 6:30, dear.
Oh, yes? Seems to me it was a little after 6:30, half an hour ago.
Why, now that I look again, yes, it's getting on towards 7, but Sam...
I'm sure Henry will be home any minute, Father. Why don't you put him right out of your mind and digest your coffee and newspaper?
Mary, I can think of nothing more enjoyable than being able to put Henry right out of my mind.
Look, after all, dear, he's only a little late, and...
A little late? When we've already finished dinner?
Well, I'm not trying to defend him, but we did eat quickly.
And my goodness, Father, Henry was much later than this the night before last, and you didn't say a thing.
Mary.
Exactly. He's been late for dinner 3 days in a row, and he's late for breakfast every day. It's time I put my foot down.
Well, the only thing is... Dear, don't think I'm criticizing, but couldn't you just put your foot down gently all the time and instead of stamping it down only every once in a while and scaring us all to death?
Are you insinuating that I'm not a good father?
Why, no, dear.
My goodness, of course you're a good father, Father.
Of course you are, dear. But won't you let me handle Henry this once?
You've been handling Henry too long as it is.
Sam, are you insinuating that I'm not a good mother?
My goodness, Father, look out the window. Here he comes.
Where?
See, he's coming up the street, pulling a wagon.
Yes. What time is it?
It's a little after 6:30, Sam.
Look at him, ambling along as though he had all the time in the world.
Well, yes,
What
but...
has he got on that wagon?
It looks like pop bottles.
Huh. Now, what's he stopping for?
He's probably tying his shoelace.
He's picking a bottle up out of the gutter. Look at him standing there looking at it.
It's all right, Sam. He's putting it back in the gutter.
Mother, do you think I should go out and tell him to hurry?
You stay where you are, Mary. This is very interesting. Look at that.
But, dear, what's wrong with stopping to pat a dog?
Look, isn't that thoughtful of him? He's offering the dog a candy. Only it won't take it.
I dare say the dog knew enough to go home in time to get its dinner.
Mother, I'm home. I know, dear.
Henry, come in here.
Could we let him eat first, Father, before we scold him?
Hello, everybody. Is dinner ready yet? Boy, I'm starved. I'll go and heat something up.
Alice, stay here.
But, Sam...
Boy, what a time I've been having. Father, are you going to get a surprise?
Henry, are you going to get a surprise? Henry, do you realize what time it is?
Why?
You've been eating your meals here for a good many years now, and you're aware of the fact that your mother serves dinner promptly at 6 o'clock.
You mean it isn't 6 o'clock yet?
Sam, why don't you buy him a watch?
Henry, according to your mother, it's a little after 6:30.
It is? Well, gee whiz, I have to be someplace at 7:30. I'll have to eat dinner in a hurry.
If you'd been interested in dinner, you would have been here at 6 o'clock. Now, please go to your room.
You mean I'm going to eat dinner in my room?
I mean, son, you're not going to eat dinner at all.
Sam. Father. You mean you weighed everything up?
Henry, stop arguing and go up to your room.
Sure, Father. Well, that's perfectly all right. I'm not hungry anyway. So, supposing I go and sit in my room.
Good.
Until 7:15.
You will sit in your room until I tell you to come out.
But, Father, I have to be someplace at 7:30.
When you were rummaging around the streets picking up bottles, did it occur to you that you had to be someplace at 6 o'clock?
Father, I wasn't...
Now, look, I told you to do something.
But, Father...
Henry!
Yes, Father. And I hope you enjoyed your dinner. That roast beef certainly smells good.
Sam Aldrich, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Ashamed? Why should I be? As a matter of fact, Alice, I believe I will have that piece of pie now.
Yes? Well, you'll find it in the kitchen.
All right, Mother. The coast is clear.
Good. You go on downstairs, Mary, and be on the lookout for your father. As soon as I get this sandwich into Henry, I'll come down, too.
All right, Mother.
Henry? Oh, Henry?
Yes, Mother?
Alice?
Oh, dear.
Alice, what on earth are you doing?
I'm just standing here eating a sandwich, dear.
Yeah?
Would you like a bite?
No, thank you, Alice. I just finished my dinner.
Mother, what did you call me for?
I didn't call you Henry.
Are you eating something, Mother?
Yes, a sandwich.
Is it good?
Yes. It's delicious.
Hey, Henry.
Come along, Alice.
Henry's up here in his room, Homer.
Yes, has he finished his dinner, Mrs. Aldrich?
No, he hasn't. Now, Homer, don't mention food to him.
Why not? Hey, Henry, are you in here?
Yeah.
Well, hi.
Hi.
Gee, does that roast beef you had for dinner smell good?
Boy, my one big chance to earn that pipe I've been wanting at the Havens drugstore.
A pipe, Henry?
Yeah, and I have to stay here in my room.
Gee whiz, do you think I'm old enough to smoke a pipe, too?
It isn't for me. It's for my father's birthday next week.
Oh. Well, I guess he's old enough.
Gee whiz, Mr. DeHaven gave me a job to do, and all I have to do is have it done by 9 o'clock tonight, and he'll pay me the pipe.
What's the job, Henry? Is it mixing sodas? Maybe I could do it for you, if it's mixing sodas.
Boy, Homer, would you? You see the small pile of overdue bills? All you have to do is go around and collect them all by 9 o'clock.
Oh. Well, I don't think I'd be any good at collecting money.
Sure you would, Homer.
Henry, just before I came over here, I tried to collect an advance on next week's allowance from my father, and boy...
You just weren't persistent enough.
Oh, yeah? I was so persistent I'm not going to get any allowance at all.
But look, Homer, I've already collected 5 bills, and that's not counting Mrs. Clark, who paid me off with a wagon load of ginger ale bottles.
Well, I'd like to, Henry, only my doctor says I have to take it easy.
Okay. That's all right, Homer. Naturally, I can't force you to help me. And will you please stop swinging on my bedpost?
Well, I won't hurt myself, Henry. I've been doing this since I was a kid, and I've never fallen yet. Ouch!
Boy.
I did that on purpose.
Henry, stop that racket!
Now, look what you did, Homer. My father thought that was me. He thought that... Homer.
Henry, you're choking me.
Homer, my father thought you were me. Don't you realize what that means?
It means he's crazy, and let go.
Listen, Homer, if you were to stay here in my room for an hour or so, see, and move around from time to time...
Oh, no, Henry, oh, no.
Homer, who'd know the difference? I could get out the back way and collect those bills, and all you'll have to do is sit here.
But, Henry, my doctor says I should be out getting some exercise.
Yes?
Good evening, Mr. Collins.
Oh, is that Henry Aldrich?
Yes, sir. Gee, how are you anyway, sir?
I'm fine, thank you.
And Mrs. Collins?
She's fine, thank you.
And the children?
What children?
Oh. Well, speaking of children, Mr. Collins, You bought some ice cream and stuff from Mr. DeHaven last October.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
About $2 worth.
About $2 worth?
Well, to be more exact, exactly $2 worth. Here's the bill, Mr. Collins.
Oh, yes.
Guess it must have slipped your mind.
The only thing is, Henry, I'm a little short tonight. But look, do you know Mr. Dixon over at 23 Maple Street?
I don't think so.
He owes me $2.50. So you go on over there and collect from him and say I sent you.
$2.50?
And you just give me 50 cents.
Oh, gee whiz, the only thing is I haven't much time. I sort of have a friend sitting in for me at home. I mean, well, are you sure I'll be able to collect from Mr. Dixon?
Sure thing.
Well, here's your 50 cents, but... Gee, I sure...
And, Henry, when you get back to the drugstore, will you tell the Haven to send me up a carton of cigarettes?
Sure. Would you like to pay me for them now?
No. Just tell him to charge it.
But look, are you sure Mr. Dixon isn't home at all?
No, and I can't stand here in the doorway and talk, young man. I have to phone these high school girls.
But look, it's only $2.50.
Well, come on in the house for a minute while I look in my purse. Yes, here you are.
Gee, thanks.
Young man, do you know any high school girls? Oh, my goodness. What's the matter with you?
What's that?
Of course. You'll do. I just have to go out for an hour, and the baby just never wakes up once she gets to sleep.
The baby?
Yes, and if she does, you can find a bottle in the icebox.
Hey, wait, I have too many bottles now.
Now, where's my coat?
Mrs. Dixon, I can't stay with your baby. I have to get back to Homer.
I won't be long. Her name's Diane.
Diane? But what about Homer?
Henry.
Oh, boy.
Henry.
Where'll I hide? Where'll I hide?
May I come in? Now, Henry, I didn't say you had to go to bed. You might as well get up. I know you're not asleep with those covers over your head. You know, son, your family seems to think I've been pretty hard on you, sending you up here without your dinner, but I did it for your own good. You realize that, don't you? Henry? Henry, answer me. Now, there's no need to cry, Henry. Look, son, I don't like to have to punish you. This being late for meals might be only a stage you're going through, but sometimes you just don't seem to be our son at all. I don't like to criticize your friends, Henry, but I sometimes wonder if you're not seeing too much of Homer Brown. What? Henry, you sound as though you're suffocating. Well, we won't talk about it anymore. Here, son, I brought you a piece of pie. Now, see here, Henry, don't just stick your hand out from under the covers. Come on out and get it.
Oh, boy.
Now, look, that's enough fooling around. Come on. Henry, let go of those covers. Oh. What's got into you? There.
Hello, Mr. Aldrich. What are you doing here?
Hello? Hello, is that Mr. Foster? Well, my name is Henry Aldrich, and did you know you owe Mr. DeHaven $7.36 from last July? You'll pay it? Swell. Well, there's only one other thing. Would you consider coming over here to 23 Maple Street with us? I have to stay here with a baby, seeing. But Mr. Foster, all the other customers are doing it. Well, some of them are. Well, one of them is Mr. Foster. Boy, that's a fine thing. Good evening.
Good evening. Are you the boy from DeHaven?
Yes, sir. You must be Mr. Wright.
That's right.
Boy, come on in. I sure appreciate your coming over here.
Now, how much did you say my bill was?
67 cents.
Very well. Here you are.
Thanks. Oh, gee, I can't change $10. Would you mind just giving me the 60 cents in cents?
Oh, I'm sorry, young man, but this is the smallest I have.
Well, look, why don't I do this? Why don't I run down to a store and get it changed?
Well,
and you can stay with the baby.
What baby?
Diane. You won't have a bit of trouble. She just never wakes up once she gets to sleep. And if she does, you'll find the bottle in the icebox.
March 13th, 1947, The Aldrich Family on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, more of The Aldrich Family, March 13th, 1947.
And now, getting back to the troubles of Henry Aldrich. When Henry arrived home late for dinner, Mr. Aldrich felt he should be punished. But the reason for Henry's lateness was that he was trying to earn a pipe for his father's birthday present. The scene opens under a streetlight on Centerville's Main Street.
Oh, boy. Hey, mister! Mister, could you give me a hand here?
Henry!
Oh, boy. Father, is that you?
How long did you think you could foist Homer off on me?
But, Father...
And what on earth are you doing lying on your face on the sidewalk?
Well, I have to get my face right down on this grating to see where my $10 is.
What $10?
The one down in this hole. Father, under the grating, it blew out of my hand.
Do you realize that you disobeyed me? Do you realize I have been combing this town for you?
Sure, Father, but I can explain everything.
Get up.
Yes, sir. You see, there was this thing I wanted, only I can't tell you what it is. And I just had to collect some bills, only I got held up with this baby, see?
A baby owed you a bill?
No, Father, it was her father. Well, he didn't owe it to me. He owed it to another man, and I gave him 50 cents because it was a bill from last October.
Henry, are you trying to tell me that you owed somebody 50 cents since last October? After all the times I've told you never to borrow money?
No, Father, I just borrowed the baby, and then it fell down this grating.
What?
Not the baby, the $10. Oh, boy. Father, just let me explain one thing to you.
Henry, let me explain one thing to you. You were to march right straight home and go up to your room and stay there. Do you understand?
But, Father, that $10 belongs to a man over at 23 Maple Street.
I'll get the $10 out of here. All I have to do is reach in for it. Now go on home.
Yes, Father, I'm going.
Don't stop to talk to anybody, and don't come back.
Yes, Father.
Now then, if I could just get my arm. Henry, my arm is caught in the grating. Henry, come back!
Mother, you mean you really do?
Of course, Henry. I follow you perfectly.
Well, gee whiz, how is it I can always make you understand? Father always gets me mixed up.
Oh, it's very clear to me, dear. You've had a date since last October to mind Mr. Dixon's baby.
What?
And he said he'd give you his best pipe that he found down underneath a grating if you'd collect $10 that Mr. DeHaven owed him for some bottles.
No, Mother. I guess you didn't understand.
Now, Henry, didn't you say you wanted to get a pipe as a present for your father?
Yeah, sure. Gee, if I've made that clear, that's all that matters.
For Father's Day?
No, for Father's birthday.
Oh.
Hey, Henry.
I'm in the living room, Homer, with my mother.
I've been looking all over for you. Your father caught me in your room, and boy, it's a good thing I found you before he did.
Homer, you're too late.
No, I'm not, Hen. I've got it all figured out. You can hide in my basement for the next few days.
Now, Homer, he isn't going to do any such thing. His father said he was to go straight to his room.
But, Mother, I just have to collect 6 more of these bills before 9 o'clock. Wouldn't you consider letting me go out for only half an hour?
No, dear. Your father's going around saying that I spoil you.
Look, Mother, do you suppose there's a way that I could collect the money and still not leave my room at all?
Wait a minute.
Now, Mr. Aldrich, for the last time, if you don't stay down on your knees, there's nothing I can do for you.
How long do you think I can hold this position? My back's nearly broken.
Well, you're going to get your arm broken if you don't hold it.
Well, then kindly hurry up. Do you realize I had to walk 6 blocks with this grate on my arm?
Yes, Mr. Aldrich. But I can say I like your attitude. Do you realize I closed this hardware store 2 hours ago and I came from clear across town to help you
Yes,
out?
of course. I didn't mean to.
And I'm doing the very best I can.
I realize that, Mr. Jackson, and I appreciate it very much.
All right. Now, see if you can hold still. Out! Very well, Mr. Aldrich. If that's your attitude, you can go straight to the blacksmith.
Mrs. Walker, this is Alice Aldrich. I just thought I'd phone and give you that chocolate cake recipe you've been wanting. Well, yes, it's always been a family secret, but I just decided there's no point in being selfish about it. Oh, and by the way, Mrs. Walker, did you know that you owe the Havens Drugstore $9.13? Yes, of course you'd forgotten about it, dear. Supposing I send Homer Brown over to pick it up. And then he'll be glad to give you the recipe.
Ezra Stone played the role of Henry Aldrich up until 1942, who was succeeded by Norman Toklar while Stone was in the Army for World War II, and he's best known later for his television hit, Leave It to Beaver. Henry Aldrich, the Aldrich Family, March 13, 1947 on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Here's Mike Lindell talking about getting your best friend something special.
And Mike, you've done it again. You've brought us an amazing line of dog beds.
This has been a long time coming. It starts with the same patented fill for your dogs now as we do my pillow. I wanted everything covered in sizes from your largest dog to your smallest dog. You can throw them in the washer and dryer. The dogs love it. They asked, and here they are. This is why you get the dog bed. This is the main reason. The dogs love it.
And you've got that 10-year warranty, right?
I can do it because the dogs love it. They don't want to wreck their bed.
And you can get these MyPillow dog beds at a price lower than the big box stores, as low as $19.95. Call 1-800-928-4715, 1-800-928-4715, or go to mypillow.com/pet and use my promo code Wyatt. Treat your best friend to a MyPillow dog bed, mypillow.com/pet. Promo code Wyatt. Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now the conclusion of the Aldrich Family, as it was originally broadcast March 13th, 1947.
Hello? Hello, are you still there, Doris? Well, I know I'm not home. I'm sitting here in some stranger's house minding a baby. No, dear, a baby. I know, dear, but listen. I gave a young boy $10 and he was going to change it. No, dear, change the $10. Oh, but, dear, you don't understand. Dear? Goodbye, dear. Excuse me, is your name right? Yes. Are you the father?
Why, yes.
Well, I'm certainly glad you're here. Come on in.
Thank you. Just a minute now. If I can manage to get my billfold out.
I notice your arm is in a sling. Were you in an accident?
Yes. Here's your $10.
Thank you. I'll just get my coat. Say, wait a minute. Where did you get the $10?
Look, I'm trying to forget. Kindly take the money and let's not talk about it.
Well, that suits me. I'll drop into the Havens and pay that bill on my way home. Good evening.
Oh, here, wait, I'm leaving too.
Oh, no, you can't. Your wife isn't home.
Oh?
You'll have to stay with the baby.
Oh.
Good evening.
Good evening. Mr. Wright. Wait a minute. What baby?
Henry, what time is it?
It's just a little after 9 o'clock, Mother.
Henry, it must be an hour since you said it was only a little before 9 o'clock.
Gee, I'm sure Father will be home any minute. After all, he's only 2 hours late.
Oh, let's see that pipe again, Henry.
Here.
Boy, isn't it a beauty?
I'll say.
And was Mr. DeHaven surprised when I took in all the money?
Yeah?
He said to tell you were the best bill collector he ever had.
Gee, Mother, and to think that chocolate cake has been a family secret for generations.
Henry?
Yes, Mary?
I have the tissue paper out here in the kitchen. Do you want to wrap Father's pie?
Sure, Mary. Can we do it up real fancy, like?
You better step on it, Hen, so your father doesn't see it.
Homer, what time is it now?
Alice!
Sam.
Oh, boy, I'm going home. Good night, Mrs. Aldrich.
Are you in the living room, Alice?
Sam Aldrich, where have you been?
Alice, I can explain everything.
Oh, my goodness, your arm. You've been in an accident.
No, Alice, this wouldn't have happened if Mr. Jackson hadn't lost his temper. All I said was out. He'd say out, too, if I was twisting his arm off.
So that's it. You've been fighting.
Fighting?
At your age.
Listen to me, Alice. This $10 bill fell down a grating, and I got my arm caught in it trying to reach the money.
Was Mr. Jackson trying to reach the money, too?
No, dear. I had to lift the whole grating off with my arm still in it, and then I had to get down into the hole and get the $10.
You mean Mr. Jackson pushed you in?
No, I got in by myself.
And Mr. Jackson wouldn't let you out?
Alice, forget about Mr. Jackson.
Well, my goodness, you didn't yell. Frankly, if that's the way you were, I don't blame him for hitting you.
Alice, listen. Mr. Jackson did not hit me. Mr. Jackson didn't do a thing except bite my head off.
Then why are you so late?
Because I've been minding the baby.
What baby?
Well, you see, I went... Mr... Never mind, you wouldn't believe it anyway.
Mother, have you got a longer piece of ribbon I could tie around this...
Henry!
This... Oh, gee whiz.
Why aren't you in your room?
Oh, I'm going, Father, but... Do you mind my asking what happened to your arm?
Mr. Jackson bit him, dear.
Henry, wait a minute. What's that you're holding behind your back?
Oh, boy. Well, it isn't anything, Father. Just some tissue paper.
Yes, in that case, let me have it, please.
Sam.
Father, couldn't you just wait a day or so? I mean...
Hand it over.
Yes, sir.
What's in here, another pop bottle?
No, sir, it's...
Well...
Happy birthday, Father. Only I certainly hadn't planned it this way.
You mean this is... this pipe is...
It's your birthday present, Sam.
It is? For my birthday?
And Henry earned it himself, collecting bills. That's why he left his room, and incidentally why he was late for dinner.
Well... You see, Alice? It's a pipe. Well, it's about the best-looking one I've ever seen.
Boy, Father, do you really like it?
Yes, indeed, Henry. And, well, thank you, son.
He earned it, Sam.
Yes, Alice, I know. Well, Henry, so you earned it.
Yes, sir.
Well.
And you know the next thing I'm going to earn, Father? A watch, so I won't ever be late for dinner again.
Well, son, you couldn't help being late. Sometimes things happen, Henry, that are beyond our control.
But just the same, Father, it's not going to happen again. You see the stack of bills?
Yes.
Mr. DeHaven sent them up here with Homer. He said if I can do as good a job collecting these, he'll pay me a watch.
Well, I think that's very commendable, Henry. When do you start?
Right now. Father, did you know you owe Mr. DeHaven $12.25 from before Christmas?
Yes, dear. What a day.
Well, my goodness, where did you get this?
What?
This great big handkerchief.
Alice, that isn't a handkerchief, and I'll have to return it to Diane tomorrow.
Who's Diane?
Well, you see, Alice, it's...
Family with music by Jack Miller is based on characters originated by Clifford Goldsmith and stars Ezra-stone as Henry with Jackie-kelk as Homer. Mr. and Mrs. Aldrich are House Jamerson and Catherine Roth. And this is Dwight Reese saying the Aldrich Family was brought to you by Great Nuts and Great Nuts Flakes. They're sugar roasted.
March 13th, 1947, The Aldrich Family on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Already now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the latest from what's going on radio station VPR in Pine Ridge, Arkansas, the radio station operated by Lum and Abner, this episode from March 13th, 1953.
Granny's, Abner. I believe that's our ring.
I dog is Lum. I believe you're right.
I'll see. Hello, jot 'em down, store. This is Lum and Abner.
And now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge.
Hi, this is Dick Huddleston again. Well, Sir Lum thought he'd found a loophole in the Mose Moots contract when he ran across a phrase that said if they couldn't give the winning princess whatever she chose within 10 days, then the offer was null and voided. So Lum was all set to stall his marriage to the widow Abernathy along until the 10 days were up. Then Mose Moots stepped in and insisted that the wedding take place on his program within a couple of days. Old Lum hadn't shown up at the Jot 'em Down store since then.
Well, come on, Grandpap. I better rehearse you for that interview program. No telling when Lum will show up.
Yeah, whereabouts is that Lum at anyway?
I don't know. Just hope he ain't did something desperate to himself to get out of marrying the widder.
I hear Mose Moots wants to have the wedding right on his pigeon-toed radio show.
Yeah, that's the latest.
Well, come on, let's rehearse. Show's got to go on whether Lum's here or not.
What am I supposed to do now? I forget.
Just read your script right there. Wherever it says Grandpap, why, that's you.
Well, that figures. Let's see here now. Oh, yeah, here we are. Grandpap. Yes, Mr. Edwards, I've been a resident of Pine Ridge for over 60 weeks.
Weeks? That's supposed to be years, Grandpap.
How's that, Abner?
I say that's supposed
Just a minute. This script's wrong here, Abner. I've lived here for more than 60 weeks.
I know it. It says years in the script. You just read it wrong.
What Lum more than likely meant to put down was 60 years.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, we better change that. Yeah, if I'm going to be interviewed on the air this morning, I want to have all the facts correct. Have you got a pencil there, Abner? A piece of keel or a Crayola or something?
Yeah, here you are. You don't need it, though.
Let's see. What was I going to change now?
Grandpap, you don't need to change nothing. It's right the way it is.
Oh, here it is. 60 years. Change that to weeks.
No, Grandpap, you're mixed up there. It's supposed to say... Oh, well, morning, Lum. Where in the world you been?
Oh, I've been down there talking to that dead-blame Mose Moots.
Oh... Well, I was just starting to rehearse Grandpap here for his interview.
Yeah, I'm just making a few corrections in the script here.
What was you talking to Mose about?
Why, that idea of his to put the wedding on the air.
Oh.
I talked to him for 2 solid hours there. Then he gets an idea in his head you couldn't blast it out of there with a stick of dynamite.
He insists on you going through with the wedding, huh?
Yeah, he says I've got to do it according to the terms of the contract. Claims I'm legal bound to marry the widder.
Well, ain't you?
Well, I'm feared so.
Yeah.
If I don't go through with it, Mose can lawsuit me for breaching the contract, and I reckon the widder could sue me for breaching the promise. There's the worst pair of breeches I've ever been in.
I wouldn't be in your breeches for nothing.
How soon do we go on the air, Lum? Pretty soon now, Grandpap.
I bound you the widder's been down there talking to Mose. You know, she's been trying to marry you for years long.
Yeah, but I don't think she's been talking to Mose.
I bound you she has now.
I think this is all his own idea. He just thinks it'll get a big listening audience for his radio show, Pine Ridge Princess. And then that'll build up his barbershop business. That's all he cares about. He's money mad. That's the whole trouble with him.
Yeah.
When do we go on the air, Lum? It won't be long now, Grandpap.
Well, what day does Mose want to broadcast this wedding, did he say?
No, he's got to find out what day Brother Reagan's can be on the show.
Brother Reagan? The circuit rider?
Yeah.
Is he going to do the marrying?
Yeah, Mose wants him to perform the ceremony.
Oh, he ties a tight knot, I'll tell you that.
I hope he can't get a hold of him till next week. I wish the river'd get up to where he couldn't get across. That'd give me a few more days to study up some way to get out of this.
Yeah, well, I don't believe it'll get up unless it rains, and it sure don't look like we're going to have none.
Oh, that's the trouble.
Yeah. I thought you said there weren't no way, though, that you could get out of it.
Well, from the looks of it now, they ain't, but I might hit on something. I wish Brother Reagan's wouldn't be able to make it till after them 10 days is up anyway.
10 days?
Yeah, see, according to the contract, we just got 10 days to give the princess whatever she chooses. After that, it's null and voided.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, I believe I've got this script corrected to where we can go on the air with it now, Lum.
Grandpap, don't go monkeying around with that script.
No, I've got it wrote just like I want it, so don't start changing it now.
Just leave it alone, Grandpap.
Just trying to get the facts straight, that's all. Want me to throw in a couple of comical jokes if we start running short?
Oh, Lord me alive.
Well, I'll let you know if we need 'em, Grandpap.
And don't throw 'em in less than we do let you know, neither.
I can tell some side splitters.
I've heard 'em. That's the reason I don't want you to throw 'em in.
Well, we better get started, fellas. Grandpap, looks like you'll have to run the generator today. Me? I can't do it. I'm the star of this show.
Well, you don't come on till towards the end of it, though, so you can start off doing the generating.
Yeah, all right, I can start it.
Go ahead, get over there.
Oughtn't to be doing that kind of work, though, a spavined-legged star like I am. Want to start now?
I reckon so. Or wait, no, we ain't supposed to go on for about 7 minutes yet.
I know it, but I believe it's a good idea to start a little ahead of time, Abner. That way we can sort of take the listeners by surprise and they can't turn off their radios so fast.
Just sort of sneak up on them, huh?
Them are just some of the little things you got to catch on to in this business.
Yeah, well, it's a good idea.
Let her go, Grandpap. Get the switch, Abner.
Got it, Roger.
From the studios of Station VPR, located in the pink room of the Jot 'em Down store, we bring you Pine Ridge on Parade, as saw through the eyes of Pine Ridge's best knowed, best loved, best learnt columnist.
Lum Edwards.
featuring news, views, and interviews of famous Pine Ridge celebrities by
Lum and Abner.
Bring to you through the courtesy of Eugene Blevins, local carpenter.
Does your roof leak lately?
Get Eugene Blevins.
Are your porch steps sagging?
Get Eugene Blevins.
Is your shutter slapping?
Get Eugene Blevins.
Is your chicken coop wrecked? Has it been broken or gnawed into by varmints?
Dad blame it, get Eugene Blevins.
Yes, get Eugene Blevins for any odd jobs you want did around your place. He does the oddest jobs of anybody in town. And now here is the drum major
Drum major it is.
Oh, the drum major of the passing parade, Lum and Abner.
No, don't blow that thing now.
Oh, excuse me.
And a good morning to all my friends of Radio Land. And hello to you from Pine Ridge. Flash, intimate notes from my little black and blue book. Clarabelle Seastrunk, local debutante, was saw yesterday at Ed Beckley's soda fountain with Gomer Bates. Her boyfriend, Cedric Weehunt, was also there.
Well.
Eli White was saw on the street yesterday. Hello, Eli. Scoop. Who taken supper with who at what restaurant what night this week? And recollect, it was me who predicted this a week ago.
First time I've heard the details.
Orchids to Ms. Elsie Pomeroy for having the best swept front yard in town. Her front walk is outlined with as fine a collection of snuff bottles as this reporter has ever saw. Congratulations, Elsie.
Well.
Moving pictures. Last Thursday night, the local theater run Trouble Over London, starring Marvin Medford and Grace LeTouch. I give this picture 3 bells. This is a good picture except some parts of it. The last half of it seemed to be a little mixed up. I don't know about the first half. Your reporter got in the middle of the picture and never seen the first of it.
You're lucky.
Marvin Medford does some awful good acting, but drags a little toward the end.
I noticed it.
If it ever comes to Pine Ridge again, I hope you get to see it. And now my first guest for today is a celebrity you all know.
Celebrity? Granpap ain't no celebrity. Oh, look at it.
He is one of the oldest residents of Pine Ridge, and also one of the most colorful characters of our fascinating metropolis. His name? Yes, you guessed it. Granpappy Milford Avery Spears.
All right, Granpap, that's enough hand slapping. Get up there.
Well, Mr. Spears, charmed to have you with us today. How are you feeling?
Yes, Mr. Edwards. I have been a resident of Pine Ridge for over 60 weeks.
Grandpap, you skipped a line or two there.
That's supposed to be 60 years. This script's wrong.
Well, you changed it yourself.
Yes, that's fine, Mr. Spears. Now, tell me, did you have any exciting experiences in the pioneer days of Pine Ridge?
Go on, Grandpap.
Oh, I am feeling fine, Mr. Edwards, thank you.
Well, don't start back at the beginning again.
Mr. Spears, did you have any interesting experiences when you first come to our little city?
Yes, Mr. Edwards. I have been a resident of Pine Ridge for over 60 weeks.
Oh, me alive.
Abner, give me a pencil and I'll change that right now. That's the second time it's been wrong in the script.
Just skip it, Grandpap.
Yeah, get down to that part where you tell about your exciting experiences.
Yeah.
There, I got that pigeon-toed thing changed now. All right, Lum, ask me that question about how long I lived here again.
You better do it, Lum.
For pity's sake. Mr. Spears, I understand that you've lived in our metropolis for quite a spell.
Yes, Mr. Edwards. I have had some very exciting experiences in Pine Ridge.
Oh, Lord.
Wait, I believe I read the wrong line there.
Well, just keep going now.
Well, I can't have lost my place.
Well, here, look, it's right there. See, right where my finger's at there. There.
Well, what are we skipping some for? Are we running short here?
I wish we was.
Mr. Spears, I'm sure you've had some interesting experiences. Could you tell us some of them?
Tell some experiences, Grandpap.
Well, sir, I recollect one time me and Charlie Redfield went over to Hatfield.
Oh, Lord, me, don't tell that, Grandpap.
And Charlie got in this card
wait a
game.
minute. That's all right, thank goodness.
And old Charlie got in this card
Grandpap,
game.
hush up. Lum's answering the phone there.
Hello.
Be quiet.
Oh, what is it, Mose?
Tell that and they'll run you and Charlie both out of town.
Well, we can't make an announcement for you right now because we're on the air for Eugene Blevins. Well, yeah, right afterwards we can. What is the announcement? It's what? Oh, no, Mose, you can't do that.
He can't do what?
Oh, my goodness, Mose has got hold of Brother Reagan. The wedding's all set.
And thanks to Ted at RadioMemories.com for these great-sounding episodes of Lum and Abner. March 13th, 1953, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. His webpage, by the way, is RadioMemories.com. He supplies shows on cassette, CD, or flash drive for your computer. RadioMemories.com.
Spring is nearly here, and many of our listeners will be getting out their gardening tools, their overalls or shorts to again try their hands at raising their own vegetables. For most of us, gardening is an enjoyable hobby, and it certainly is a great thrill to see the results of your work come out of the ground right before your eyes. In other lands, many people will also be watching their spring planting grow. CARE, the Cooperative for American Remittances to Europe, proposes to help meet that need with their new vegetable seed package. It contains 28 varieties of vegetables. In order for families in Europe to start planting, you should order the CARE seed package right away. Total cost, with delivery guaranteed, is $4. Send your orders to Nonprofit CARE, 50 Broad Street, New York, and help a family help themselves.
And I hope you'll visit MyPillow.com, use my promo code Wyatt, click on that radio podcast square, and use my promo code Wyatt there to get you the brand new MyPillow 2.0, which is on my bed right now. You'll sleep better at night. I know I do. Anyway, thank this station, support their advertisers. It's their kindness and courtesy that allow us to be with you each and every time you roll around here on your favorite station. If you miss a day, you don't have to miss a single show. All of our shows are available on demand at classicradio.stream. That is classicradio.stream. Stream our shows, learn about building a classic radio collection of your own. You can find our social media links there. You can contact me. And if you'd like to support us and help us acquire additional classic radio collections and keep our distribution channels up and running, you can buy me a coffee. All that at classicradio.stream. Classicradio.stream. Thanks for tuning in. Tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.